Peace to my YouTube fam. Um, this is an unstructured rant. The title of the video is called Crime is Commentary. And what's got under my skin is this belief floating in the atmosphere that black people, especially, how we must live with injustice woven into the fabric of our reality. Um, we're supposed to be at home with injustice. No wrongs are supposed to be righted. The overall general consensus amongst whites and especially amongst a lot of black people is deal with it. But I noticed that when it comes to white people, if you look at the way that they entertain themselves, just on an entertainment level, it may seem trivial, but look at the concepts. The Crow, where a man and his girlfriend are killed in their apartment, and he comes back from the dead because they didn't die right. Their, their death was unjust. So he couldn't actually go into the grave until the wrong was righted. You know, it just, I look at this stuff and it's on a subliminal level. It's just letting you know, well, they're letting you know, we're going to get you. We're going to, we can't live with injustice. If something is wrong done to us, it has to be righted. And the funny thing about it is, it's just like white people and their value system and the way that other people perceive their value system, which is even scarier, exists in some alternate, bizarro universe. Like, take for instance, if a black person starts talking about slavery and talking about things that have been done to them historically by white people, that black person is shooed off, shunned down, denigrated, disrespected, called all types of militant this and all this other radical black blah 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 blah. But if a white person, all right, let's use that as an example. 9/11. When, if you follow the official story, a group of Muslims, radical Islamic fundamentalists, led by Osama bin Laden, flew some planes into buildings and basically committed an act of terror against the United States. These same preachers that were talking to black folks about forgive and forget were right next to George Bush, right next to the U.S. government, talking about revenge. And we have to right the wrong. We have to get, there has to be revenge for this. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. You just told me to forgive and forget. Why don't we just go and give Al Qaeda and Osama a big group hug? Isn't that what you told us? So, I mention this because it gets back to this stuff. I just read about Bush not releasing secret documents to, well, Bush and Cheney and basically the Bush administration not releasing documents to Obama. And these documents are secret documents that revolve around the detainee situation at Guantanamo Bay. In other words, shit that possibly is illegal and can get you put in jail or even executed under Geneva law. Um, the thing that annoys me the most about this, I mean, Bush committing crimes is no big deal. It shouldn't shock anyone. Bush and Cheney have twisted and violated the Constitution and U.S. Constitution and everything else that they can get their hands on. But what bothers me about this is O.J. Simpson just got sent to jail for 15 years for going to get his own stuff. Plaxico Burress shot himself Didn't shoot anybody else. Shot himself. And basically his football career is over. You got a guy, a white guy, who defrauded clients out of $50 billion. Not million, billion. $50 billion. And is he in jail? No. They gave him bail to post. Of course he can post a bail. He just defrauded people out of $50 billion. And then the lawyer is saying this to the judge and not getting laughed out of the courtroom. The lawyer is saying, well, this man is a respected man within his field, and he's the embarrassment that he's going to receive as a result of what he's done is punishment enough. Huh? If me, Thug Titian, my boy Black Sun 1, commit a crime, like let's say we got a possession of some weed. What if we went to the courtroom and said, you know what? This is embarrassing for me. Nobody knows that I smoke, but the fact that I got caught with weed is going to be humiliating for me at my office and around my community, and I think that's punishment enough, Your Honor. What the hell do you think would happen to us? So when it comes to us, we get jail time. When it comes to white people, they get commentary. They get intellectual discussions. These guys, George Bush has committed so many crimes. Him and Cheney, his entire administration has have committed so many crimes during his 8-year period. But nobody talks about jail time. As a matter of fact, they say, well, he probably did break the laws in terms of torture, and he probably did break laws in terms of the Justice Department and things like that. But I don't think anybody's going to prosecute him because, we have things to deal with like the economy. What? So I'm trying to get this. You commit a crime, and if you're white, you don't go to jail because it's not convenient to put you in jail at that time. Is this right? So it's all a matter of timing when it comes to committing crimes. What this should show every black person is that if you're going to do something, do it big. If you're going to commit a crime in a very big way. Go for the gusto. Try to commit it against the whole freaking world. Because isn't that the lesson that's being learned here? Besides the fact that this is an unequal society, besides the fact that depending upon who's committing the crime, the punishment is going to be different depending on the individual. Is anybody going to argue with me about that? O.J. Simpson just got 15 years for getting back his own stuff. Plaxico Burrell just lost his football career for shooting himself. George Bush kills thousands of Iraqi civilians, and all he gets is a shoe. And then some idiot, well, I won't call him an idiot, because he basically said the truth. No, he's not an idiot. He said seeing George Bush getting the shoe thrown at him was some small measure of justice. And as mad as that made me, he's 100% correct. Because that's the only thing that's going to happen to George Bush. I guarantee you. If something happens to him, it won't be by man's hands. It won't be because the government decided to do the right thing. It'll be because universal law went into effect. And that's the one positive in this whole thing. That no matter how much you try to skate that ass whooping, universal law is going to catch your ass. I don't care who you are. Black, white, green, and in between. Anyway, this is Mr. Holisticism. Peace.